Resident Evil 9's size could have a positive effect on the character. If RE9 ends up being an open world, the way Resident Evil handles character development may change for the better. Resident Evil 9 is probably the biggest and most expensive game in the franchise, as it is rumored to feature an open world. Spending more time telling the story could allow future Resident Evil games to focus more on character development, giving players a deeper, more engaging experience. Resident Evil 9's open world gives characters a chance to shine and provides more opportunities for growth and interaction as players explore the world. The number of collectibles can also increase, further expanding the world. Resident Evil fans are currently waiting to see what's next in the survival horror franchise. Resident Evil Village and Resident Evil 4 remakes have received post-release updates, and RE8 concludes the RE7 Winter's Family series. Common theories about the next game include Resident Evil 9, Code, Veronica Remake, or RE5 Remake, while there are also rumors that a return to a mainline game could be next. Resident Evil 9 has plenty of options if the first-person perspective from RE7 and Village doesn't return as its main gimmick, and a credible leak has highlighted one of them. Known Capcom leaker Dusk Golem, going by Aesthetic Gamer1 on Twitter, has made a couple of statements about Resident Evil 9 over the past year, building a picture of it being the largest and most expensive Resident Evil yet. Largest is key here, as Dusk Golem's late March 2024 tweets claimed that RE9 was greenlit close to Dragon's Dogma 2 and Monster Hunter Wilds as projects expanding the open-world functionality of Capcom's re-engine. Dusk Golem added that each game would maintain its series' distinct DNA, suggesting that Resident Evil 9 could use its risky open-world venture to magnify Resident Evil's existing strengths. This might come as a surprise given Resident Evil's monster fixation and rotating human cast, but the franchise is heavily character-driven. From the very first game, Resident Evil's goofy charm is often expressed through its protagonists, supporting cast, and villains, with a lot of incidental lore and collectibles fleshing out the place in its setting. Keeping track of it all has become a mess as Resident Evil ramped up its spin-off production, but recurring faces like Jill Valentine, Albert Wesker, Barry Burton, and more have endeared its zombie fighting action to countless fans. Resident Evil's characters typically just grow through seniority. Resident Evil's focus on gameplay over intricate storytelling is usually to its advantage, and recent entries have enhanced characters further through extra dialogue tied to in-game events like Mr. X's debut in the RE2 remake. However, this also means that Resident Evil protagonists often fall back on common action to lead stereotypes to keep gameplay moving forward. Franchise icons like Chris Redfield and Leon S. Kennedy has had enough screen time to escape this to some extent, but newcomers like Resident Evil 7's Ethan Winters, and the various one-off characters from Resident Evil 5 and onward, haven't had the room to make as strong of an impression. Giving Resident Evil characters room to breathe should help them shine. Even if Resident Evil 9 turns out to feature a returning protagonist like Chris Redfield, more room for character work could still benefit them. Much like The Evil Within 2, RE9's open world could include various distractions and survivors for player characters to interact with. That's not even getting into what a larger Resident Evil game could do with documents and other collectibles, with players potentially spending hours in RE9 finding extra lore or hidden rooms accompanied by commentary from the living cast. Pivoting to an open world is a gamble, but Resident Evil 9 and its characters could make the format work for them.
Yeah. That would have been one hell of a first date, though.
Yeah.